Hare Krishna, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I've got to warn you, this is a bit of a rant alert today. It's been a long while since I've done any kind of ranting online. The Hare Krishna project is a positive space and a positive place for devotees and non-devotees to share ideas, and we're very passionate about supporting devotees and sharing ideas and going out and about and meeting devotees around the country and around Europe. And it's probably been about 2 years since I've done a kind of a rant on this page. And if you look down, I think it was probably 2021, and I did a rant about how people refer to the Gaudiya Mat, and that the Gaudiya Mat is a rival organization to ISKCON, and it still exists as an institution. And actually it doesn't. The Gaudiya Mat hasn't existed as an institution since I think 1938, but people refer to the Gaudiya Mat as an entity, that it still exists as kind of a rival group or rival organization to ISKCON. Today I'm not talking about the Gaudiya Mat. I'm talking about another rant that I have, and it's kind of come up recently in some dialogue that I've had with some devotees, and I'm going to share it with you. So I actually have lots of little bugbears in life, like people that don't indicate on the road, people that message you and say, oh, can we have a quick 5-minute chat? It's not 5 minutes, it's actually really an hour. Today's rant is about this whole idea of devotees getting offended. Now, just for context, over the last 20 years, since I left university, I've worked in a range of settings with a range of different types of people in the business industry, in different educational establishments, in the voluntary sector. Many of you know what I used to do for a living, so also in local government. I've worked with lots of different types of people in different environments. And I've also, over the last 20 years, been involved with the Hare Krishna movement. Most of that time, and the majority of that 2-decade span has been with ISKCON, but also I've been involved with other mats, with other projects, with other initiatives. And I can hand on heart say, I can confidently and passionately say, I have never met a group of people that get offended so easily. I hear on a regular basis, someone says to me, oh, well, so-and-so's offended someone, a devotee is offended, oh, I've offended them, or they're offended, or maybe even their guru has been offended. I have never met a group of people that get offended so easily. It is unbelievable. Now, we all have principles, we all have values, and they're really important. It's really important in life to have principles and values and things that we believe in, things that we hold dear, things that we stand by. But that doesn't mean that we can go around living in the kind of this bubble wrap environment where everything that happens offends us. You know, sometimes I think on the BBC they have that show Points of View. Years ago it was presented by Anne Robinson, and people would ring up, or they'd email, or they'd contact the studio, and they'd say, oh, I'm offended by that TV show. I don't know, it was on 10 o'clock, it was 10 o'clock on Sunday night on Channel 4, I was offended by that show. So my response is, well, don't watch Channel 4 at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night if you're offended by that show. There's hundreds of other TV channels to watch. And that's my same advice and the same approach I would give to devotees in the Hare Krishna movement. Stop getting so offended. That doesn't mean you can't have your own principles and your own values. You can, and it's good that you have them. But don't get so offended all the time. I don't want to be part of a society, and what I mean by society, I mean religious society, spiritual society, where everyone is robotic, where everyone is the same. You know, we all dress the same, we all have the same types of food, we all have the same beliefs. I mean, that does help. We all have the same approach to being anti-establishment or pro-establishment or neutral on establishment. Everyone has the same views on medical issues, and lots of devotees have those. I like to be part of a spiritual or religious society where we have healthy debate, we have healthy discussion, we have different points of view. Believe it or not, there's lots of devotees that have offended me over the years. But you know what? You develop a tendency to be thick-skinned, and it doesn't mean it doesn't matter, but you just brush it off. You get on with your life, because we're living in the material world. There's lots of things going on in the material world that are offensive. Are we going to sit back and moan and complain all the time? No. You get on with your savor, you get on with your service, you get on with the mission of sharing Krishna consciousness with everyone and anyone who's willing and wanting to listen to it. I get so fed up with devotees saying on a regular basis that they are so-and-so's offended. Stop getting so offended and chant Hare Krishna.